Hey guys, Mr. Riz here. So I'm going to help you guys walk through the Python Activity 2, Exercise 2. So if you go ahead and look at this, what you are to do is write a program that processes the total of a combo meal. So you need to make a program that asks the user how much for a sandwich, how much for a fry, and how much for a drink. And then the output should say your total is, then followed by the correct total of the combo. So it does give us a little hint here. We got to be careful to use the correct data type conversion to include decimal answers. Okay, so if we have this little activity here, we're gonna kind of copy paste this to make sure we understand what's going on here. So I'm gonna highlight this, copy, paste, turn this in here, and we'll run this. In fact, you know what, I'm gonna open this up. So you can see here we go, A is 1 and B is 2, but they're both as strings. And if we print or run this, you'll see what happens. It's going to take some time. We can think about what's going to happen here. C equals A plus B. Now remember, those are both strings, and strings concatenate when we add them together. So we push them together. So the first line of code we should get is 1, 2, or 12, what we call it. Now let's see what happens next. If AI equals, let me just stop and run this again. It seems to be really bogging down. Probably because I have everything opened up all at once. Let's stop it. Let's just go through the code while this is working. AI is the integer of A, BI is the integer of B, CI equals AI divided by BI, so we get to see what that looks like when we multiply and divide those answers. And then we do the same thing with floats and see if we get any different answers. I'm going to pause this video until we get this working. All right, let's give this a try. All right, so you can see when we divide, when they're both integers, if we divide them, we get a decimal. If we multiply them, they stays an integer as 2. Now when we turn them to floats, we get a float as our answer for a decimal, which makes sense because a float is a decimal is a float. But even when we multiply them, since they're both floats, it stays as a decimal, which is okay. If you think about a menu, you'd rather see $2.00 than $2. So what we got to do in this assignment here is we got to make a combo menu asking them how much for a sandwich, how much for a fry, and how much for a drink, and tell them what their total is. All right, so let's get some input. Let's get some prices. I'm going to make a sandwich price, or SP. To get information from somebody, we use an input. Ask them in quotations how much for a sandwich. And then we need to get fry price. How much for some fries? And we need to get a drink price. For a Okay, so next what we want to do is then convert those, because if they just tell us something, it's going to save that as a string. We need to convert those. And we think, do we want to use integers or floats? We want to use floats because they will be decimal answers. So a user can type in, $3.99 for a sandwich. So let's do sandwich price as a float equals float the sandwich price. The same thing here for the fries. And then equals float drink price. So, okay, we turn those all into floats, and then let's get a total here. Is the sandwich price float plus the fry price float, the drink price as a float. So all we need to do is print that off. So let's print off the statement here. Your total is, comma, total. And let's test this out, see how well this works. So how much for a sandwich? I'm going to say $5. Fries, $2 and $1. I know that should be $8. we get $8 even. And we're going to just test this again. Let's use some decimals here. Sandwich, $4.99. Some fries, $1.25. And a drink, 99 cents. 7.23. That sounds about right to me. All right, so this should help you out with the assignment. Best of luck next time. We'll see you around.